recording time, Ricordandoti. What the fuck am I saying, man? I think that was the name
I
of
don't know.
David's first semester film. Yeah,
Really?
I think so. That was ages ago. Anyways, guys, welcome to Twink Peaks, episode 12. We are so consistent with this that I'm still in Munich. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
It's actually
wild?
really crazy. We've never been this consistent.
I actually appreciate all the support on the podcast. Getting a lot of views on the Instagrams and the TikToks, and getting like pretty consistently like okay views on YouTube. The 3,044% more watch time hours than the last 28 days, whatever the fuck that means. Strange. Yeah. So
Hell yeah. No, it feels good though
it's really
to
beautiful.
hear all of that. Because I know we're doing this for fun, but it's nice to hear people are having fun with us.
Yeah, exactly. It is really nice to hear that. Wait, let me check how much the thing you're doing on TikTok. We can cut this out. But Tate, tell me about how your week's been since we last recorded.
How has my week been? Honestly, I haven't done much. Some of my friends here know about the podcast, and I don't know how to feel about that.
You do post
Because
it on your
I'm
story.
fine. I know. I know, of course they're gonna know, but it's like I didn't know that they would know.
Uh-huh.
I hope that they're not listening right now. There's something
Why?
different about my Berlin. Because there's the thing. There's something
Okay.
different about my Berlin friends, like, listening and stuff. But I haven't known these people enough. It feels strange.
Valid.
It feels strange. Also, because it's so strange to be like, I have a podcast. You know? Like, bless
I think
you.
it's better. I think it's easier for you to say that.
Yes.
As
that's
a not
true.
man.
Easier for me than you.
Yeah. And what's so funny is me, Idris, and Jan are going to start a podcast soon. So we're going to be 3 men with mics. We're going to be unstoppable. That's a gap in the market. No one's ever done that before. 3 men with microphones. So I'm very excited to see how that
Never
goes.
done before.
Mm-hmm,
Never.
mm-hmm.
Other than that, I've been consistently training, which is nice. Getting out of bed. I had a good period where I was actually going to bed on time and stuff, and then something happened. And now I've completely ruined that, and I'm trying to get it back together.
What time have you been going to bed now?
I don't want to say.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Say it. We do not judge
Like
here.
past-
It's going to be like
Past 2 a.m.
yeah, it's a little nasty. It's a little nasty. We
Yep.
are like, bro, we're so young. Like, that shouldn't be nasty, but it is. It is. So sorry to say. Yeah, please hop up on that. Please.
I'm trying.
Otherwise, you'll be.
That being said, I've been forcing myself to read a little bit of this book every day. It's a French book.
Nice.
Very good. I will be fully fucking honest. Read the first chapter, understood like 5%.
Is it
I
just
wish I
like
was kidding. I read the whole thing and I was like, I understood none of these words. Like, together, I did not know what any of this meant.
Is it like Old English but in French?
No, it's like a very stylized French. Very stylized writing. It's non-linear. It's autobiographical. Semi-fiction as well.
No. You're getting cooked, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I have no idea what's fucking happening in this.
Damn. Sorry about that.
I kind of like, sometimes there will be paragraphs I'm like, oh, I'm finally getting it. And then I'll read the next one, I'm like, you've lost me again. But I'm forcing myself to read it because I need to broaden my horizons or whatever.
You do, man. And you need to look cool for people.
Shut up.
Thanks for asking, Tate. My week's been great.
Hey, you didn't give me
Kidding, I'm
time to
kidding, I'm kidding,
ask.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
How was your
But
week?
my week has been pretty good. I, you know what? Actually, a few days ago, I had like this really weird crash out, which I will discuss after the podcast because that's not anything that you guys need to know about. But I went on a really long walk in the evening, and the weather's been really nice in Munich. And Munich is a lovely city to just walk through and look at buildings because they weren't really steamrolled like that during the war, and even afterwards, they had the money to rebuild themselves back up. Um, so yeah, that was a really refreshing, lovely walk. I made some carbonara that night as well. It was really nice. It was really nice. I've been going on runs, trying to go every other day. I mean, I was meant to run yesterday, but I didn't. But I ran today, right before the podcast. Um, Ran 5 kilometers as I always try and do, nursing my ankle because I kind of fucked up. I kind of fucked it up when we were playing football a few weeks ago. But like, it's okay. It's getting there. It's getting there. Um, yeah, I'm very happy with all the exercise I'm doing. I keep making this joke with my partner that at this rate, I'm gonna be the grandparent that's able to like actually stand up and pick up the kid. Uh, because of the fitness I'm doing now. But it's okay. It will not stay like that. Um, yeah, currently wearing your t-shirt, which pisses me off. It's a nice fit.
Hell yeah.
But I don't fuck with you, Tate. Let the record show that I don't fuck with you for leaving. Still. What
Okay.
else has happened this week? What else has happened this week? I've been filming a lot. I've been journaling a lot. Every time when I sleep next to someone, my dreams are going so crazy. So I'm a tiny bit exhausted when I wake up being like, that is so much dreaming. What happened to the sleep? What happened to the chill? Like, this is a bit overwhelming for me mentally. Uh, but it's been nice. It's been nice. It's been a nice chill week away from home, which I do appreciate. But unlike most other times when I come to Munich, I haven't downed tools and stopped doing shit. Like, I'm still doing shit, which makes me feel like
Nice.
my life is still, I don't know,
Moving
moving
forward.
in any direction. Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
There
Any
was
song
actually
slash
though.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Song of the week. Let me have a look at my
A movie of the
Spotify.
week, mayhaps.
What is my song of the week? Superstar by Paris, Texas.
Okay. Oh yeah. Was that on They Left Me with the Sword or They Left Me with the Gun?
They left me with a gun. With a gun.
Okay, cool.
A gun? The gun?
I
I
think
don't
it's a
remember.
gun. Yeah.
They left me with a gun. Yeah, that one. And the movie I watched last, actually, was Soul. I'm like slowly going through
Soul.
all of the films on my watch lists. Like, I've refused to add more on my watch list on my streaming services, and I'm just like picking them
Nice.
off. And Soul was the last one I watched.
Is
That
Soul
was
the
really
one
good.
where it's a black, like the main character is black, but he's actually only black for 5 minutes because he turns into.
Yes, but also no. He was
Okay,
black
good,
for a
good,
lot
good,
longer
good.
than I thought because I thought it was one of those situations like Princess and the
Uh-huh.
Frog where he was like black for like the first 5 minutes and then for the rest of the movie he's not.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually black for a lot more than I thought he was.
Yee! Why did you say it like Okay, that's
So
really
no,
good to
it
hear.
was good. It was really good. It was nice to watch a character who didn't quote unquote make it like traditionally, but he's very happy with his life and creative process, or
Hell
mostly
yeah, okay.
happy.
Yeah,
And that felt very good to see.
very nice and
Very good,
affirming
especially right now.
that you
Exactly.
don't have to be a Quentin Quarantino or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
To be
okay.
successful and stuff. So
Mm.
that was good. That was a good watch. That was fun. So yeah.
Okay, nice, nice. I have two songs for you guys. I have My phone screen isn't turning on. Bon Iver released an album. Haven't listened to it because it came out today. Different Type of Love by Mahalia. Um, really good
I
song.
would say
And then Prophet
Mahalia.
by Vanna. Okay, Prophet by
Ooh.
Vanna. So Vanna is like, wow. I never want to be this person who is like, give me that life. But he is primarily like a saxophonist. He plays a saxophone a lot, but he like multi
Oh,
instrumentalist
when you said that, I
producer.
genuinely thought you said
He's
saxophonist, and he was like a sex curator or some shit like that.
I mean probably with how much aura he has, probably to be honest. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, he's produced for people like Anderson Paak. He's done a lot of production, and his own solo music is
Ooh.
so good. I saw him in concert like last year, and I got him to sign my old medical aid card, which is pretty sick. Um,
Oh my
yeah,
god, that guy!
yeah.
Oh,
So,
and he's sexy. I just looked him up on Spotify.
but like, go to his Instagram right now and tell me that you're not like, fuck. I wish that was me actually. But yeah, great song, great song. I'm so excited for his album.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want his life.
I'll put a
Oh
few
my
pictures on
god.
screen for you
Oh my
guys.
god. Why is everything getting a
Yeah,
banger too?
that's what I'm saying, bro.
How the
It's so
where
hard,
where does this motherfucker get his pants? I want his pants.
dude.
Where does he get his pants?
It's everything about him, and I just
Oh my
don't.
god.
Yeah,
I want to be
yeah.
him so bad.
There's so many times when
Oh
I'll be
wow,
sitting
he's
in
beautiful.
bed, kind of doom scrolling,
So
doing
fucking angry.
nothing, and then I open my Instagram and I see a photo of him like sitting by a waterfall, and I'm like, okay, 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 let's go edit the podcast. Let's go do something. And then I'm currently watching a series called Baby. It's an Italian series on Netflix. It's it's like it's teenagers fucking around. It's giving euphoria, but it's a lot more realistic. I would say they're still up to some fuck shit,
Yeah.
but it's fuck shit that you can actually like. At least two people that were participating in this level of fuck shit, which
Lifestyle.
is
Yeah.
nice. And one thing that I really appreciate about the actors is that like there are a lot of scenes with people who are adults, obviously, right? And these are teenagers, but I don't know, you know these people are above the age of 18. Like maybe the youngest actor on the show is like 17 or something like that. But they are so good at like with how they sit and how they interact and how they like try to act sexy or tough or not bothered by anything like that. It is so adolescent like, and I think that's really good acting from them. I don't know how the actual like line delivery is because ultimately it's in Italian. So I don't. They could be the worst. They could be having the worst line delivery ever. That was killing me for some reason. Um, but their physical acting is so good, so believable that like they are 15, 16 because they do not know how to sit when they're in the presence of like an older figure. They're just a bit. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Um,
What's it called?
yeah, Baby. It's Baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what is one show I've heard every adult talk about?
Severance.
Adolescence.
Adolescence. Oh, the one that just came out on. Yeah, so Antonio's and Idris both said I should watch it. So I
Yeah.
will eventually,
Like I've
guys. 20.
anyone my parents' age, like I feel like they've been watching that a lot.
Okay. No, 2028, guys. I promise. 2028, I'll watch it. When it comes to series, oh, you're gonna have to be so patient with me. And I'm not even as bad as you.
And
You're deplorable.
no, exactly.
Since the day I fucking met you, I've been asking you to watch Succession, which is so crazy. So
And I
crazy.
will get around to it.
Definitely, man.
But since
You will.
I'm working my way through certain streaming services, I think I'll watch Atlanta first. Because it's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
easier for me because it's like not as linear
Okay.
as Succession.
Okay.
So at least I'll get that one watched.
For sure. For sure. Man, I don't know if I want to talk about this. Um,
But I have something to talk about if you don't want to talk about this.
I'll just get out of
No,
the
but
way
keep going.
quickly. I don't want to make this a clip because I don't want to really participate in this conversation like a lot on the internet.
Yeah.
Um, I just want to say, I mean, you guys can tell. Like, look at us right now, okay? You know how we feel about these AI Ghibli pictures. You already know how we feel about them.
Oh my god.
The White House posted one of a woman being detained by ICE, an immigrant being detained by ICE, and
Oh
was
my god,
Ghiblified.
yeah.
That's all we need to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
I I
Just
wish
pay someone to
awful
do it.
things. I wish awful things on Sam Altman in GTA for putting open AI on us. Um, it's so nasty. It's so gross. It's so
Just
theft.
pay an artist.
Um, pay an artist.
And
Oh,
also like
hey, just
knowing
imagine it. Just go for it.
oh, but also knowing Miyazaki's stance on AI makes it extra worse, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Just hey guys, if you really want to see how you look Ghiblified, watch a Studio Ghibli movie. Go outside, find like a nice bit of grass, sit down, lie back, close your eyes, imagine. That's it.
Yep.
That's just
Or
imagine it.
pay an artist.
Yeah, yeah. You could find on
You could find
on
someone that
Fiverr,
it
bro.
would
They'll
cost
do
like
it.
$15.
You know how broke like illustrators and animators are, bro. Just exploit them. Just like, God damn it. Oh, yeah. It's so gross. It's so nasty. So gross. It's so nasty. But you want to talk about something?
What's
Go for
funny
it.
about that? No, what's funny about the Ghibli thing is we literally went through something similar, I feel like a year ago, where people were like, "Oh, me and different art styles," and it was all AI stuff. Like we went through this a year ago. I don't know why we're doing this again. We have not changed one bit in the last year. On the internet, at least.
We have not, unfortunately. And oh no, it's just such a boring concept as well because like if there's one like there's a lot of emotion in all of the Studio Ghibli characters. But if you just like imitate the look, it's just like making your head rounder and removing your nose. Like every time I see someone post like
Yeah.
a Ghiblified version of them with like their friends, it's the exact same photo with less detail. And I just don't get it. I don't get it.
No.
And I need you guys to put it down, please. Um, I understand. I think this is the thing is uh we have been and this is very America pilled and it's just seeped into the well of every other country where we are such sluts for convenience that we just don't care about the ethics of things anymore. Where it's like, oh, but I want to see how I look Ghiblified. I feel so bad that this artist is having like his stuff stolen, but I really want to see myself Ghiblified. Stop it. Stop
It's
it. There's
also
so many
like
things.
it doesn't like bring that much more to your life.
Yeah, I want to drive when I'm drunk. Do you see me doing it? Do you see me doing it like? Oh, yeah. It's doing me
Drive when I'm
fucking head
drunk.
in. It's doing me fucking head in. Um, yeah.
Yup.
But topic you wanted to bring up?
It's it's kind of in the same vein as like the consumerism we were talking about. So I was talking to my dad, I think a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, and I feel like nowadays we cannot have a hobby without it feeling like it has to consume your life. So I'm gonna take sports for example,
It has to consume
because
your
I'm in
life, or you have to be able to
and
monetize
money.
it. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to talk about the consume your life part first. For
Yeah.
example, I'm like very much in like an outdoor sports space. So I live in a place where skiing, climbing, mountain biking, mountaineering, anything like that is like people's lives fully.
Yeah.
But it's fucking crazy to me that a lot of these sports, you have to own so much before you do something. Like people, if they want to get into mountain biking, you don't just like get a bike, you know. You could. Like my bike's secondhand. Like it's my mom's
Mm.
anniversary gift from like 20 plus years ago. But I feel like some people feel the need to get the most brand new, the most expensive. Like you can find bikes that are up to 6K.
Yep.
More than a fucking car. And it
Nasty.
has to consume everything.
It
And you
has
have
to
to get
consume
things that go with it.
everything.
You have to be able. That's what it feels like. It feels like some of these people cannot enjoy something without it consuming everything. You know.
I mean, honestly, it's
Like what
how I
happened to?
feel.
Because that's what I like about football and basketball is that it's
Hmm.
it's such an easy thing to do in like with your group and in the street that it doesn't consume your every life because you can only buy one thing for it.
Yeah. I mean,
But with
honestly, I agree, but also, okay, no, but this is more utilitarian rather than consuming your life. I've been looking to buy like indoor football shoes on Vinted for the last few weeks now, but only because uh I realized that the sneakers I'm using have absolutely no ankle support and it's killing all of us in the group. But I think that's just for health reasons. But I do
yeah,
understand
but
the
it's also
consuming
like
your life,
it's not
like
like you
going
have to
running. Oh
buy.
my God,
You have
you
to
go.
have
It's not like you have to
shorts. You have
buy.
to have the shirt. You have to have these like this jacket thing for your water bottle. You have to have all these little knickknacks for running. When you're like at its core, you're running. Why do you need so much
Yeah,
equipment? But some people feel this
yeah.
need to have everything to be part of this little club,
I also
you
think
know?
that people look at that and don't realize that they're most of the time looking at someone who's been running for 7, 8 years. Once you've been running
Yes.
for that long, then you probably like year three, you're like, okay, cool. I want to drink sometimes when I'm on the go. Let me just invest in this piece of equipment that like gives me a straw to drink out of, you know.
Yeah.
Um like I started running and I have back issues because I dislocated my shoulder and it fucked up my back when I was like 17. Um, and the first thing I needed to get, I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get dedicated running shoes, and they're gonna be expensive. I ended up getting them for like 40% off, which was crazy. And I use them all the time.
I remember
And then
that.
after that, I was like, okay, I'm running now. I'm having a good time, but my shorts, chafing, shorts
Yeah.
chafing, t-shirt chafing. Let me just buy secondhand on Vinted. I have like 4 or 5 running t-shirts, and I got them all for less than $10. Um, Secondhand, because first hand you can get them for like 40, $50. Why do you need to do that? Just wash them. If you're afraid, just wash them. Um,
Yeah.
and
But that's a natural
now
progression.
I don't know. Yeah, natural progression. Now I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Uh maybe I'll start getting running socks. It's not necessary right now. I'm not doing running enough where it's like, oh, maybe I do need socks specifically for running. Maybe if I carry on with this pace, in a year or two, I'll invest in that. But yeah, I remember listening to, I think it was one of the Smosh podcasts, and one of the hosts was talking about that. If you're gonna start a hobby, buy the thing that just gets you in, like the barrier to entry. Just
Yeah.
buy the shittiest. If you want to start playing guitar, buy the shittiest guitar you can find that you can play.
Yep.
And then if you actually really fuck with playing guitar, then eventually you're gonna catch on anyways.
Yeah.
But if you start off with like, okay, cool, I'm gonna buy a Fender, and you play it for 3 weeks and you're like, oh, I actually don't like playing guitar, it hurts my fingers, then you wasted money. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not the same as consuming your whole life, but it is kind of related to what you're saying. I agree. I agree that the
Yeah.
hobbies do consume your whole life.
But I think that's what's strange is that I don't think it used to be the same way. You could have multiple hobbies and just be like, Sometimes I draw. All I own is a pencil, you know? But now it's like, oh, I draw and you have to have all of these fucking pencils, all of these pens. It's like, you feels like sometimes if you don't have all the equipment for the hobby, it's not actually your hobby, you know? You're not
Yeah, you're
investing
not
enough
doing it good
time for it to be
enough.
your hobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why or how and when we decided that hobbies have to just be everything.
Yeah, and that you have to be so good at them. Like, I
Yeah.
understand that you want to feel a bit better about yourself, so you are going to do a bit of work here and there. You know, like a few weeks ago, after playing football, Lisa was like, yo, I low key suck at kicking a ball. So do you want to
I
just
suck
meet
at it
up
so
a few
bad.
times and then we just do that for a while, just the two of us, so that next time we play with the group, I'm better? That's okay. But me now going on YouTube and watching football tutorials and then buying this and this and this. The hobby doesn't have to consume my life at
Yeah.
all. Like ideally,
No.
my my whole theory is that like obviously social media, fabricated, fake, whatever, like that's not your authentic self. But I decided I was like, okay, cool. My Instagram should not be like I studied film, I do film. It every single photo should not be me on set behind the camera, me rigging up a lighting fixture. It's like honestly, someone should look at my reconnecting. Okay, someone should look at my Instagram and be like, it looks like he just lives. Even
Yep.
though I have all these things going on, someone should look at my Instagram and just be like, oh, he's just a liver, you know. Sometimes he travels, he hangs out with his friends, you know.
Yep. There's
Because
just
yeah,
snippets in your
hobbies can
life.
just be they can they can just be what you make them. You know, if
Yeah.
crocheting is your hobby, if you've only crocheted 3 scarves and you only do scarves, it's okay. You don't. I think there is this pressure, and it definitely comes from some form of capitalism, where when you start a hobby, you very quickly just want to become like the best at that hobby, because I also think that social media has created this
Yes.
need to have to show people, when you really
100%.
don't have to show people. You can be someone who's been crocheting for 20 years and you're like, yeah, like a few scarves. That's it.
Yeah. And the thing
And
is,
in reality, no one's got to be like, you're not hobbying enough. Like, what? It's
yeah.
a hobby.
I think like what you
Yeah.
said is that this idea of you have to be the best at whatever hobby you're doing. I think I'm guilty of that. Like I recently downloaded an app where it's just like an app where it's like the event and community planning of Facebook, but in an app. So you can like join groups, it's a lot easier to do that, and it's for like any outdoor sports in just this area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I hesitated joining any group and I still haven't because I'm like I'm not good enough. It's People are here to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't have to be the best at the thing I enjoy doing. I'm not supposed to be the best because it's not my career.
And if you go to that group and
If it's my
someone's like,
job, is the
oh,
only time it needs to be the best. And no
yeah.
one
And
in the
even
group
then,
is gonna
does
go
it
like,
though?
"Oh, you're not good enough." Yeah,
Yeah.
because
And if
no
they
one is gonna
do,
say, "Oh,
no one likes that person in the group, anyways.
exactly." But it's just,
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with the outdoor sports scene, because you do need a lot of equipment to do things. Like, if I want to do climbing, I need to have the shoes because you cannot climb without the shoes unless you actually want to like
Yeah.
damage your feet and stuff. Or you
Hmm.
need the harness because you can't get up without the harness unless you're doing bouldering, but that's a whole other thing. I don't
Yeah.
got the arm strength for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like if you're
But you
gonna
need to
start
have a certain
running
amount of
now,
equipment.
don't go running in your Air Force Ones if you don't own like
Yeah.
a pair of like athletic shoes. Like I appreciate that maybe you feel like you're unhealthy, you want to turn your life around, whatever. Um, you can get something secondhand for real cheap.
Yes.
Just to
It doesn't
get you
have to be the
in.
best of the best.
Yeah, yeah.
But this
But I
like
do
I think this
appreciate you
idea
bringing that up.
especially with like outdoor stuff and sports stuff, the idea you have to have the newest equipment, and I fall victim for that. Like I'm using an old pair of my mom's ski touring skis with the heaviest
Hmm.
bindings. They're fucking heavy. The ski's not pretty and stuff. And every time I'm like, oh, but if I could get like another one, like some, and I'm like, no, it works. Why would I need something else? It works. It's good
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
And in my head, it's because
I
like,
agree.
oh, I want to like fit in with this crowd. When it's like, no, you don't need to, because if they were actually cool and interesting, they wouldn't give a fuck about what you have. Because they
Exactly.
would care about your enthusiasm.
Real.
And I don't know, like, it's so strange. I think something like that happened to drawing as well, like specifically traditional drawing, because I feel like every time I see someone, even just coloring, like, coloring books, like adult coloring books, I feel
Also,
like
hey,
if you do
why
that,
is there
you
a
have to have,
distinction between a kid's coloring book and an adult's coloring book? It's a coloring book.
yep,
What
it's
what
a
do we
coloring
color?
book.
What are we coloring in? Our taxes? Like, what the fuck is the difference? Yeah, yeah, you're
But
saying.
then if you're coloring, you have to have these specific type of pencils, and you have to have the whole range and all of these, and it's like, okay, when did we start having requirements for hobbies we're supposed to enjoy by ourselves?
When did this all
And
become
you feel
so
like you're
overwhelming,
performing.
man?
You feel like you're
Yeah.
performing for no one when you're doing them too.
Yeah, we've been yapping about this for a while. You know what this is, man? This is all just consumerism. This is all just
Yep.
us being companies being like, you need to buy this. You want to be good at running. You want to be good at just drawing. You need to buy this. You need to buy this. You need to buy
Yeah.
this. You need to buy this.
Because you will
Yeah,
never be good without this.
you'll never be good without this. Yeah, you wanna
It just pisses me off.
you wanna do anything. You need to buy this. Sorry,
Yeah.
you have to do it.
Yeah. But at
It
the same time, there is actually people within these hobbies that do kind of think that way.
yeah,
And that's also frustrating.
it is. It is. It's a thing that I've had to, like you said, very similar to you, where you have to, within yourself, hold yourself back from participating in this, because a lot of the time, like it happened when I was on my run today, that I do like tracking how far I've run. So I always have my phone on me. And every once in a while, a small part of me is like, you know what, having a smartwatch. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, no,
You don't need it.
no. I don't need it. It's ugly.
Yep.
Um
They're so
and
hideous.
obviously you can also talk about how it's just another way for them to track you and your habits, yada yada yada. And I think ultimately, like running, because I eventually would want to run like marathons and stuff like that, I am tracking like how much I run and stuff. But in regards to like football and stuff, I was even thinking, oh, I'm not tracking my activity when I'm playing. Okay, but you're playing, so there's no
Yeah.
need to track your activity. If you yourself are like, I'm tired, then you don't need Nike Training Club or Apple Health to tell you you're tired. You burn this many calories. I can feel it. And even if Apple Health is telling me, oh damn, you've only done 2,000 steps today, but I played football with my friends from like 3 to 7, and my phone was just sitting in my bag. I know myself that I am like living a healthy lifestyle, and that I don't need to consume and get this thing and get this thing and get this body strap tracker, so I know that like, oh, I accelerate this quickly and I run this much in a session. No need, man.
Yep.
No need at all.
I feel like we've just been gadgetized. Like there's so many gadgets for so many things now, and they're
So many
completely
gadgets for so many
unnecessary.
things. Yeah,
They're so completely unnecessary.
completely
Yet we feel the
unnecessary.
need to have them.
Yeah, it's the same point that I brought up earlier on, where the gadgets that these things that the gadgets are being made for people who are really doing this thing, but they're being sold to all of us as an essential. Like I always see people wearing the Apple Watch Ultra, and the way the Apple Watch Ultra is built is for people who it's one of those weird things where for people who are actually dedicated to the thing, an Apple Watch Ultra isn't good enough. Like you can go diving with it, you can do trail running with it, and like set waypoints and all that type of stuff. But if you're really about that life, there's better, cheaper equipment for you. But let's just ignore that for a second. You are going to work. Why are you wearing an Apple Watch Ultra? I see you sitting on a bus, going to sit in an office, and you got sold this like $600 watch. There's no need. Anyone who would need an Apple Watch Ultra, one, wouldn't buy one anyways. But even if they did, that is someone who has been diving for 3-4 years, and they're like, okay, cool. Now I need the equipment to really see what I'm up to. So yeah, guys, if you're gonna start a hobby, don't make it your whole life. It's also a little annoying for everyone around you.
Yeah.
As someone who posts, every time he goes on a run on his story, but it's on my Finsta. Okay. For someone who posts it, I know it's annoying. I do feel very glad when I do it, though. It makes me feel good, but there's no need.
It's kind of like, yeah.
I was gonna say that people just don't need to know that much about you. If they're in your personal life, then they'll know that, okay, cool, he runs a lot. But exactly. It's okay.
I think there was also this one time I was talking to someone, and she was talking about she used to live in Norway. And if you know anything about Norwegians, I'm going to wait for it to reconnect. Just in case.
And if you know anything about Norwegians, even when it's reconnecting, it's still recording. But carry on speaking.
Oh, okay, perfect. So Norwegians love the outdoors. That's the stereotype. Like, if you go to Norway, if you know any Norwegians, super outdoorsy, very sportive kind of people. And her friend started dating this guy, and she's really into hiking, she's really into this outdoor stuff. This friend started seeing this guy, and she's really into hiking and this outdoor camping kind of stuff. And she's not Norwegian, but the guy she's seeing is Norwegian. And she goes to his place one time, and she's like, oh, he's got all this equipment, like more expensive and like tons more than she has. And over the course of dating him, she realizes he hasn't touched it once. They date for like almost 8-9 months. Not once did he touch any of that equipment. And he just succumbed to the pressure of his country's stereotype, got all the equipment, and used none of it because he's not fucking interested.
That's so crazy.
This pressure to like have certain hobbies and then to like invest so much money and time in them even when you don't give a fuck is crazy to me.
Yeah, man. They really got us. These big the big milk, big tech, big running. They got us, man. They got us. Which is so unfortunate.
It's just we should like constantly enjoy things without it having to be crazy. Same with reading. I feel like now, unless you read 20 books a year, you're not actually a reader, you know?
Unless you're keeping up with book talk and shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you could read 1 or 2 books a year, but as long as you're keeping up with book talk, you're a reader.
I've never said to someone, because I read, like, last year I think I read 1 book in total. I wanted to read a book a month this year, but I'm currently 1 1/10 books. But I have never said to anyone, "Oh, this is how many books I read." And like, oh, what? You're not reading? Right. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah. If you say
Sick.
You like reading,
that's how much you read.
You don't have to do it every month to be able to like something.
One person who does this really well, honestly, this is just talking about the whole hobby point.
There's 2 people I can think of, actually.
Shout out to Antonio, who...
Yep, that was one of them.
No one knows he goes to gym all the time. No one knows he's in the gym all the time. Every time I mention that, oh, it's probably at the gym, everyone's like, what?
He works
Antonio
out.
goes to the gym? And that's exact. Not because he doesn't look like...
Yeah. No, it's just because he doesn't talk about it.
Exactly, he doesn't talk about it, and it's just a thing he does. He doesn't have like this muscled tank and this compression legging thing and all of that. He just goes He lifts stuff. He runs. You're like, okay, cool. I'm done.
Yep.
And
He does the same
it's
thing
made
with
him.
reading.
It's made him so much healthier for it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
reads so much,
So
but
much.
if you don't see him with a book in his hand, obviously he has a lot to say because he does read a lot. But
Yeah. But he never says like, "Oh, I
yeah,
read this," or like, "I've read this many." Like, I wouldn't know what he's read unless I followed him on Goodreads.
exactly.
Like, and
Yeah,
it's not like the conversations we have are about certain topics that he reads about, but it's never like, "Oh, this book I read." Da, 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 da. He just does things, and then just like whatever he gets out of them ends up discussing them, but like without it
yeah,
being clear that that's what he's doing. And that's really refreshing. That being said,
that's
sometimes
really
it does feel
refreshing.
like, does this man have hobbies? Because he doesn't talk about his hobbies, and then you're like, no, you do. You just don't talk about them.
Also
So
true.
he's on
So
the
very
opposite
often I'm
end.
like, damn, I'm really
What
worried
does
that
this
he's
man do with his
only
life?
going to work and then sleeping.
Yeah,
But there's a
but
lot
no, he
more
does
shit
things.
going on.
He just doesn't talk about it as much as we talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. What did I want to talk about? Did I want to say anything? Do you have anything that you want to talk about in particular?
Bless you.
Thank you.
No, my hobbies rant was kind of like the main thing.
Okay.
It's just
I
because
saw this.
I see myself fall for it. And that's why I needed to talk it out loud before I fall for it fully.
That's valid, man.
Before I
That's
stop
okay.
buying things that I know I don't need just because I felt like I need it.
Yeah. I saw this reel recently talking about how like if you're born in 2025, you literally missed everything. What's the point, dumb fucking baby? And he kept saying dumb fucking baby, which I found really funny. But it did get me thinking, right? My partner has a younger brother who is he might be turning three this year. I think he's turning three this year. Like towards the end of the year. And I only realized like 3 days ago that Messi and Ronaldo are just gonna be guys that he has to watch like old highlights of. What? What do you mean? You're gonna grow up and you're gonna be like, yeah, no, I've never watched them play because I was born when Ronaldo started playing in Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about? What? How did you missed COVID? What do you mean you missed COVID? You're
Oh my
born
god,
after
yeah.
COVID. You've missed everything, dumb fucking baby. And yeah, I just love how every generation feels this strongly when they're like in their 20s and they realize babies are being born and the babies have missed everything that they missed up until this point and are still going to continue to miss that because they're only going to start remembering things when they're like really like 5, 6, 7. That's so crazy. That's so crazy that if I had a kid right now, right, knock on every bit of wood in the world, uh, every god of every religion forbid. If I had a kid right now, you're telling me I'd have to be like, yo, yeah, this album, Good Kid, Mad City, it came out. It came out 13 years before you were born. Here you go. Here, listen to Good Kid, Mad City, kid. What? What do you mean you missed? You missed Drake versus Kendrick? Dumb fucking baby, right? Isn't that crazy?
It's so stupid.
Isn't that nuts?
Oh, that's how I think some people feel about 9/11.
Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, what do you mean? You didn't have to go home from school because because towers were falling in New York. What are you talking about? Also, 9/11 is really crazy when I think about it because we haven't experienced anything like that. Can you imagine Like, what's the biggest? Imagine if, like, Eiffel Tower just blew up. Isn't that nuts? That a big thing in one of the biggest cities in the world, just two planes.
Yep.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. Because I also because we didn't live it, we don't really understand the full impact of what 9/11 had to like the way we fly and transport and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had
it
no
used
idea
to
how
be.
my parents were flying in planes before 9/11.
It was so easy to get through airports.
Yes.
Because everyone was like, "What are you gonna do? Fly the plane to the World Trade Center?" That's so wild, man. It's so wild, and yeah, I know that some people are devastated that uh that we just weren't around for that. I don't even think my parents had done the thing to even have my mom be pregnant. Like, they
I
were
think
still
my
like
parents knew each other for maybe like a couple months by that point.
2001. Damn. Wait, how long were they together when they had you?
2-3 years.
Isn't that crazy as well?
I know.
And after 2-3 years, they're like, let's do a baby.
Let's get married.
Insane.
I was in a relationship
I mean,
for 2 years. Oh, not even close to marriage at that point.
how old were you? How old was your dad when that happened?
Oh yeah, they were like older.
They were like
How
older,
old
yeah.
was
Like,
my dad?
us, I guess us thinking about this right now would be kind of wild. Like, if
Yeah, my dad was
I was to be in
29.
a long-term relationship. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think if I was 27, 28,
Yeah.
and I dated someone and it was just really good for 2-3 years and I was financially stable, I'll be like, yeah,
Yep.
why not? Yeah, it's just a thing of like, even if I fell into like this episode blows up and this podcast retires us, right? I have so much mental work to do. So much mental work to do. I am
Yeah.
basically a dead person in regards to like my tax history. You know, like I just have so much to to establish myself in before I can be like, yeah, okay, I can get married. It's not a thing of like, oh, did I leave the party too early? Oh, what if there are other people out there? I don't give a fuck, man. It really is just like I still sometimes open my underwear drawer and I'm like, oh shit, there's one pair left. Let me do laundry right now. And I feel like I need to stop
Yeah.
doing that before I can get married and think about having kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, but with socks.
Valid.
They disappear
Oh,
so fast.
I need to buy a bunch of pairs of white socks now that summer's coming around.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Gotta hit up a Uniqlo.
I was thinking the exact same.
You missed that, huh? Oh, nice. I mean, when you're here in May, we can do a nice little Uniqlo haul together, man. I will stop myself from buying socks until you get here, just for you, baby.
We can buy socks together.
Just for you. Chill.
Did
Calm down,
I have a
calm
question. Did
down.
I talk about how I left a pair of underwear at my friend's place recently?
I'm ready.
So this is how I accidentally left a pair of underwear at my friend's place, and both him and his girlfriends, both his girlfriend and his roommate's girlfriend, were very confused. And so I'm gonna explain. I, until a month ago, was living in an apartment where I didn't have a washing machine.
Mhm.
And if I wanted to go to a laundromat, it would cost €6, the small load of washing, to do my
Now you
laundry.
realize how it fucking feels. All of you guys who are clowning on me for going to Tate's place and Antonia's place to do laundry, now you get it. Now you get it.
No, I
guys.
get it. I get it. I used to go to the laundromat in Berlin too.
Valid. Went like your first few months in Berlin?
Yeah.
Those months don't exist, by the way.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't exist.
They don't exist. Anyways, carry on.
So I used to do my laundry at theirs. Here's the thing. I
Yeah.
usually just didn't do my underwear laundry because um I just like felt kind of awkward doing it at their place. So normally I would
Same, because would you do laundry and then they would hang it up, or would you hang it up yourself?
I would hang it up. I would hang it myself. I would
Okay.
come, I'd do laundry,
Okay.
we'd have dinner, then I would hang it up, and when it's still wet, I just put it in a bag, go home, and then hang it up properly everywhere else.
Because I
Um,
hand washed my underwear for the longest time
yeah,
because I was like, yeah, just giving Tate my underwear is a bit,
it feels weird.
yeah, it's a bit strange. I'd be sweating.
And
I
at
don't
this
want Tate
point, this
anywhere
was
near
like,
that sweat, you know? Like,
and at that point, we were like, this is like, I've known these two guys for like maybe a month or two, and we were
uh-huh.
colleagues first. So I started doing this when we were
Mm.
colleagues, and before we became properly friends. And about a couple weeks ago, I'm at the restaurant with them, and one of the roommates, he turns to me and goes like, "Did you forget a pair of underwear at our place?" In the middle of the restaurant. And I was like, "I don't think so." And he proceeds to tell me that they had found it on the drying rack, and I can't remember. One of them was like, "Oh, that's like my roommate's girlfriend's underwear." So he just went to his roommate and was like, "Here's your girlfriend's underwear." And he's like, "I don't think she wears anything like that. You sure it's not your girlfriend?" And he was like, "No,
Oh,
I've never seen her wear that in my life."
oh, you
And they
almost
did
homewrecked by
all of
mistake.
that. They did all of that in front of their girlfriend sitting at the dining room table.
You know what though?
And one of the
At
guy's
least,
closest female friends was watching as well.
at least it shows that they were not complicit in the homie cheating because neither of
Exactly.
them
But here's
knew.
the thing.
You know, it's not like it was a coordinated.
Here's the thing. And both of them were so completely confused because hadn't even crossed their mind as an option. But one of them looked at the other and he was thinking, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, like,
His first thought was, "My
nigga.
homie cheated." And the other guy was like, "What is going on?" Like, he didn't even consider his friend had cheated. That
Oh,
wasn't
you're
even an
so pure of
option in his head.
heart.
He was just like, "What is happening?"
Because
And so,
my brain would be like, cheater, cheater.
yes! And so, those two and their girlfriends and their friend there are all like, "Whose underwear is this?" And I can't remember who suggested it, but someone was like, "Oh wait, Tate does laundry here. I'll just like ask Tate next time."
Thank God. Thank God someone did that. Wow.
But imagine someone telling you that story in like a public restaurant.
That'd be really funny, man. That's what I don't want them to tell me that in the privacy of their own home. Tell me that when I'm eating, bro. Like, tell me that in the middle of a restaurant where everyone can hear us.
And it was in fact my underwear. Just
Imagine
like
if
to
they're like,
confirm.
is this your girlfriend's? And then he's like,
He's
no,
like,
is it yours? He wants to sniff test.
it was clean, guys.
Oh, and that could have
It
been
was
such a
so
precarious situation.
Yes. Totally didn't put their
Damn.
relationships at risk for like a split second there.
No, you did not. You could have led to, like, that could have been an opportunity for someone to confess to have cheated, though.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's France.
Oh my god, cheating is so common here, guys.
Literally the highest rate of cheating in the world. I think it's like 48% of married men have reported to at least having an affair once. Hold on. Let me fact check this. Okay, so according to Yahoo Finance, an article on Yahoo Finance, right? Yes. 55% of French men and 32% of French women have admitted to cheating on their spouse or significant other. This was a study in 2014. Only 47% of French people see cheating as morally unacceptable. Less than half of the population sees cheating as morally unacceptable. So, like, honestly, best country to lose your underwear at a friend's place because
Yep.
hey man, between those two guys, one of them might have done it. There's a pretty high chance that one of them's done it.
Oh my god. I didn't. That's
Isn't that
crazy.
so crazy? And it's also crazy that the stat is so
See,
high for
now
women
all
as
the
well. I
gossip
feel
I hear
like
about my
generally because
colleagues.
of mm-hmm.
I was just saying that now all the gossip I hear about ex-colleagues and who they're sleeping with and stuff when they're like married or in relationships makes a lot more sense. It's adding up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of in the same way that when you watch I was talking to a friend about this, where a lot of the time, like a movie like Call Me by Your Name and a series like We Are Who We Are, a lot of people are concerned with like the age gap, which they should be, right?
Yeah.
But also forget that this is directed by an Italian gay man.
Yeah.
Like in Italy, from the age of 14, in most areas, you can sleep with someone basically, however, like doesn't matter how old they are, unless I'm wrong, guys. If I'm spewing fake information, please correct me.
No,
But
but
from the
even if
research
it's
I
not
did,
illegal, it's definitely normalized.
yeah, like you won't get in trouble from like basically
Yeah.
14 up. People are mostly free game, which is insane to say. At least I know in Germany it's
Yeah.
like if you're 14, you're free game to people up until they're like 18, 19. Then you have to
I
be
think so, yeah.
18 to be free game for everyone. But I think in Italy, they're like,
Yeah,
ah,
go ahead. Fuck whoever you
ah,
want.
ah.
Fuck your dad's
Um,
friend at 15.
so yeah, when you watch something where made by an Italian where there's a significant age gap and you don't feel like the film is explicitly saying that this is wrong, remember that this person probably experienced a bunch of their friends participate when they were like 15, 16, fucking 20 something year olds. Um, and
Oh my god, I'm
unless
starting
a
to...
20 something year old was
Yeah.
like an evil drug dealer or something like that, everyone was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm also starting to realize how many French films I've watched where cheating just kind of happens.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Because it's so fucking normal. Obviously, it's still seen as like a bad thing. At least like
By
every other
by
person
less than
believes
half
that
the
it's a bad
percent.
thing. Yeah, like just less than every other person. But it's just a movie like Passages. It was like, oh my god,
Yes,
you
that's
cheated?
exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah. But I feel
It's
like
like, oh
Passages,
no,
the reason
this hurt and
I
it's
feel like
this
part
like
of
deep, but I'll move on.
part of the hurt in Passages was also because maybe it's because it was a woman.
Yes,
And up until
100%.
that
Like he
point,
thought
he
he was
believed that
gay
he was exactly. So the betrayal was like, you fucked her? Fucking him. Okay.
because in the movie it literally says that he has cheated on his husband multiple times. Like
Yeah,
he
but
slept
it's
with
always been
other
with
men.
guys. And he's like, ah, you know.
Yeah. And this is the one time it was not only a woman, but he wanted to explore it.
Yeah, and that's where the issue came in. Obviously, it'd be like, you cheated again? Come on, man. But
Like,
um,
damn. I guess you're
yeah,
just
like
French.
it's just so normalized there. And what I wanted to say earlier on was that I feel like a lot of the time, like, and it's still present here. It's still like 55 compared to like 32%. Like 55 men, 32% women. So there is definitely like a patriarchal gap there. But I'm still surprised that basically 1 in 3 women are like, yeah. Like 1 in 3 is still crazy. Then 1 in 3 women are like, yeah, I've I've been fucking around. Why not? It's to the point where I know that like 23andMe, which is going bankrupt, by the way. Which okay, very quickly, 23andMe is going bankrupt, which means that anyone
Really?
can buy people's data and like DNA and stuff, like DNA records. Because 23andMe, well, like when companies go bankrupt, like anyone can just buy the shit. So if tomorrow Mark Zuckerberg is like, I want to know everything about everyone, I want to know everyone's genetic illnesses who signed up for this before. he can just do it. Maybe there's some privacy protection laws. We hope. But judging by how the United States of America is going, the FBI just like disbanded their like crypto fraud division. So crypto fraud is just like it's just a thing now. Um yeah. Yeah. But anyways, I was saying paternity tests are banned in France because the French government thinks that it would break up too many marriages.
I remember hearing that. I remember hearing about that.
Like there's no need to know that all these people are cheating. Just
Because
assume.
we already know in our hearts.
Yeah, we don't. But how does one function? I guess if it's just so normalized. Why is okay? Why are we even calling it cheating then? If everyone's just gonna do it, if everyone's just gonna do it, why is this still? Why isn't everyone just in a like a door ajar relationship? Not like open, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
they're letting the breeze come in relationship.
Yeah, because I think the thrill for so many people of cheating is that you're not supposed to.
I guess that's like part of it. It's like once you open the floodgates, it's gonna be like,
I'm sure for some people it wouldn't be as fun if the other person was okay with it.
yeah. If you know if you weren't in a club and you look down and you look at the person's hand and you see a ring and you're like, oh, and they're like, oh my god, and like the moment when they take off the ring, like I'm sure some people are like,
Yeah.
oh hell yeah. And if you take that away,
Yep.
then what? Oh, now I can just fuck anyone. Yeah, but it is
Yeah.
kind of wild that like at least 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women are like, yeah, I have. When I've been in an official relationship or married, I have.
You know what's funny is, speaking of relationships, kind of like completely different topic.
Yeah, go for it.
I've been thinking, and this maybe shouldn't be added in the podcast. We'll
I've
see.
been thinking.
Um,
I've been thinking.
I'm thinking, why do people who say they are in open relationships, why are they so much different looking than people that say they are polyamorous?
Oh,
Because there's a stereotype with like the polyamorous look, but then if I think about Berlin, there's so many open relationships, but it's not the same vibe
I feel
of
like
person.
poly people are like
Even though
either
in its core, I
really
think it's
normal
pretty much almost
looking.
the same thing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
either like really normal looking, or they are like millennial Gen X hippie,
Yeah.
and then like open relationship type people. To be honest, just look like us.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I think it's at the core, open relationships and polyamorous people, polyamory, whatever, is like almost the same thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I thought it was the
polyamorous
same thing
people
for the longest
talk
time.
about it so fucking much. And then people that are in open relationships just are in them. And I just am confused why they're different.
Interesting. I think it's the other way around. I
Really?
think poly people are like, oh, like you're gonna be like 5 hours into the date, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm married by the way, but like poly. Whereas open people are like, oh, what are you doing today? I just got done fucking someone that isn't my girlfriend, but we're open, so it's okay. I don't know. That's my.
For me, it's the complete opposite.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the internet space specifically.
But okay, wait. Is the difference between poly and open relationships just like kind of the level of commitment? Like with poly, you're open to exploring like full-on relationships, whereas with open relationships, more often than not, it's just like.
I'm not entirely sure, because in my head they feel like the same thing, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is, though.
I think we're approaching this topic in a way that we wouldn't make anyone mad, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's like we don't know enough.
Yeah, I guess maybe open relationships is, if I'm at a club and I see someone bad as hell.
Yeah.
But actually forming like a long-term relationship, maybe not.
We have a friend that was in an open relationship, and like the partner would have a full relationship with someone else.
That was but she didn't label herself as poly or open. It was more non-monogamy. Which
Yeah,
is
okay.
that non-monogamous? Is that what does that mean
Yeah, that's
in
a whole
relation
other
to the other
category.
two? In relation to the other two, maybe I feel like non-monogamy is just like it's just the queer version of like the way that
Yes.
people just use queer as like end all be all term now. Whereas back in the day, you kind of felt the pressure to be like, oh, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this.
This.
Whereas now, like, yeah, I'm queer. And I think
Yeah.
saying I'm non monogamous is just a way of being like, maybe I'm poly, maybe I'm open. I don't really fucking know, to be honest with you, but I'm not
Yeah.
monogamous. And
Yeah.
and that situation was non hierarchical, non monogamy. So everyone was on the same level. Um,
Yeah.
So I guess if you're putting a gun to their head, they're probably gonna say, okay, I guess this is polyamory, but they're just gonna go by saying it's non-monogamy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think it's funny how certain people who use specific terms have different vibes attached to them, or stereotypes in my head, for at least.
yeah, I fully agree. I'm trying to think. Is there a comparison to this?
Cause
It's
I'll take. Did you remember seeing
yeah,
the
go for it.
Instagram reel of this one guy being like, not saying all polyamorous people look like that, but why do they all look like that?
Yeah,
And then it'd be a series of stitches, and like polyamorous people would be responding, being like, "What do you mean by this?" And they kind of all had
and it's
the
the
same
same
look.
person every time. Yeah,
Yep, kind of just like not even the same
yeah,
person, but like they all look like the same genre.
yeah. I feel
And that's
like
what I
mm,
think of when I think polyamorous. And then when I think open
in
relationship, I'm
my
like, oh, it's all the baddies I know in Berlin.
exactly in my experience, um, people in open relationships are just fashion niggas, and then people who are polyamorous are like SJW bluehead feminists, like whatever. When people think of SJW bluehead feminists, like whatever comes to
Right?
mind there is
Yeah.
in my head what I think polyamorous people tend to look like, and then people in open
Yeah.
relationships are just fashion baddies.
Right. I think it's the shift of like labeling yourself now is seen as like weird and like, oh, you don't have to label yourself kind of thing. So as soon as people label
Mm,
themselves, they kind of put in a category. But then when you don't have a label,
yeah,
it's like, I'm just existing, I just am
yeah, which is
kind of
nice.
vibe.
Not
Yeah.
labeling oneself is actually really beautiful and lovely, and it's kind of what we were talking about. That's kind of been the theme of this podcast, where like committing so much to a hobby is labeling yourself, and
Yes.
what we resonated with is not really labeling myself. I don't want to just be seen as like, oh, he's a runner. Like I don't care to be like, oh, he paints, he draws. Like I'm just a guy. You can label me with like
Several
kind, loving,
things.
sexy, funny, a
I am
thoughtful.
personality traits, not activities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But even then,
But
I'm not bound to
you,
those personality traits.
yeah. But you were saying
Yeah.
something before I continued with the polyamorous open relationship thing.
What was it about? Was it on the same vein?
You were saying something. I just don't know what it was.
I don't remember at all. And I'm not gonna stop and
Yeah.
then go back to talk about what we're talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Uh, it's interesting seeing how people feel about relationships and stuff. It's one thing I'm very sad about is that like we have gone back to like fascism so quickly that the last like 10, 15 years it was really fun, at least for me personally, to see like, oh, where's this going? Like in 10 years, how are people gonna feel about like relationships, and how are people gonna like function like work wise? And we've just gone right back to, hey man, two genders, and one of the genders is not allowed to work anymore. Yeah,
Yup.
yeah. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. But yeah, wait. Do you have you met any non-monogamous people in France?
I've met cheaters, but not non-monogamous.
Sick, sick. Were they
In
cheating with people
person,
you knew as well, or
yes.
oh hell yeah, coworkers?
Yes.
Nice,
I love coworker
nice.
drama. Oh, God,
Coworker
it's
drama
so
is
fun.
so sick, dude. So sick. What was I gonna look at? I was just gonna look at a list of my
But I also don't live in a
friends
big city, so that makes a little
because
difference.
yeah, I feel like it's actually a lot more intensified when you live in a small city because everyone kind of knows each other. It's like I feel like a grand
There's like
conspiracy.
no, actually, I take it
Yeah.
back. I have met non-monogamous people, and it was
Okay. And do
this
they
older
do they look
couple
like
in
you?
their 50s at like a hockey match.
Oh,
They were in their 50s, so they didn't look like me.
were they trying to fuck? Oh, were they just
Not me, but like someone else I knew.
okay?
But he
Oh,
was trying to fuck as
sick.
well, so yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really
that's
beautiful.
beautiful. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Oh my God. I heard this story on Reddit one time where this girl, I think I might have said this on the podcast before. I don't fucking remember, guys. But if I've said this before, just imagine I'm saying it again, and you're just as intrigued. This girl was dating this guy, and everything was going like really well, and they're like a bit of an age gap. It was probably like 24, 31 type of age
I don't
gap,
like where this. I think I know where this is
and
going.
then yeah, and then um and then she made him meet her parents, and while they were eating, her mom took her aside and you're like, yeah, 10 years ago, me and your dad started experimenting with an open marriage, and we used to fuck him. We used to fuck your boyfriend when he was 21 and you were 14. when you when you would go on school trips, he was ruining us, uh physically, not emotionally. And how must that be the saddest thing to ever happen to someone? Being in a loving relationship and then finding out that they fuck someone in your life, already hard, for a lot of people, already difficult to deal with. And that person is your parents, both of them. At least, cause here's the thing, at least if it was like, oh, your mom cheated with this guy when he was younger, right? You can at least villainize your mom. And
Yeah.
depending on if your boyfriend knew that your mom was married, you can villainize him. But in this situation, literally no one did anything wrong and everything's ruined.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think I
You're
could
like,
sleep with
he
someone that
was
slept with my parents.
that's such a hot take, Tate. That's crazy.
Like I know
He
everyone else
was
feels
20,
differently about this, but like I'm right.
but I just draw the line there, guys. Like, sorry. um, he was 21, 22, MILF and DILF are like, hey, like, bro, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, right? And she was obviously just a kid. She was fucking, like, I don't know, being like, oh my God, I have a crush on Theo or something like that. And then you went on a school trip, and your parents are just like, oh, what if we did? What if we did?
Yeah. And it's not like we
And
crossed paths ever.
no, exactly. And think she met this guy in a different city. It's not even like it
Yeah.
was in the hometown. If it was in the hometown, I guess that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Different
it's like
city.
if
And also like so many people have the
like you
same last name he didn't even consider.
yeah, exactly. It's like if you grew up in like Brandenburg and then you meet a guy in Berlin, and you don't know where he grew up. He's just like from Berlin. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I also grew up Brandenburg area, and that's about it. Um,
Yeah.
that's so unfortunate.
I
That's so
hate
sad. I feel so
I
bad
hate
because the relationship is over. because
Yes.
even me as the guy who probably shit bricks and wanted to kill himself when he saw who my girlfriend's parents are. You can't be like, oh, oh, that's
What
nasty.
I'm think,
I was about
what
to
I
say
think is
like,
weird
oh,
though.
that's why you felt familiar.
What I think is weird is that he didn't know her parents' names before he met them. Like, I knew my partner's parents' names, like first names,
Mm.
long before I met any of them.
But like, yeah,
But some
but
families are like
also
that, though.
it's not because I think they'd only been dating for like 3-4 months. But like,
Yeah.
I think after 3-4 months, if you don't, because you could have your partner could have told you their parents' names, but I would say only after like 5-6 months should you remember their names, especially if you don't live in the same place. If you don't live in the same place,
Yeah.
like if someone I started dating like here didn't know my parents' names, that's okay. They live far away. You're not gonna meet them very
Yeah.
often, maybe if ever, depending on how long the relationship lasts. So that's so unfortunate, man. That's so unfortunate.
Some people live lives where I'm like, I'm so
Yeah.
happy mine is not as eventful as yours. I don't want that
Yeah,
kind of
man.
eventful in
Like
my life.
the exactly like the events I've had, I didn't really want them either, but like at least they were somewhat bearable. That is just unbearable. Poor gal, man. But yeah, we've been recording for long enough, man. That was a nice way to end it off.
Yeah.
So glad that we can yap and be together and talk. Guys, I'm so glad that you're enjoying the podcast. We are now cooking clips. We are now releasing clips somewhat soon. So yeah, keep fucking with us. We are going to be around. We have actually gotten into the flow of releasing pretty weekly, which makes it a lot easier to just yap about stuff.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. World is a bit scary right now, so
So take
find
care
the
of
strength in
yourself.
each other.
Also, remember, you don't need to be completely good at a hobby to enjoy a hobby.
And you are not your hobby. It is just a thing you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ciao, Bella.
Ciao.